Assalamu alaikum. Let's cook. Okay, people, two separate stories right here. The first one, black child by the name of Dion Walton out of Covington County, Alabama. 17 years of age, athlete, 4th of July, people. On the 4th of July, he went to a community lake to celebrate with his teammates. He's the only one who's not alive anymore. They say that Dion Walton drowned. Condolences to his family. All white teammates, by the way, people. His school is pretty much all white. Dion Walton maybe one of 10 black kids in the whole entire school. So we know that his teammates that he went out here on this swimming trip at this lake, community lake, at somebody's house, one of his teammates' house or whatever, he was the only black one.
Junior holiday quickly turning into a tragedy for a Covington County family who lost their loved one in a drowning just days ago on the 4th of July. WDHN's Robert Smith Jr. has the latest.
The stomachs of Jason Walton and John Walton turned after they were at the store getting food to grill out for the holiday when they got a frightening call from their nephew Dion Walton's football coach that he went missing in a community lake.
He was like, hey Jason, where you guys are? I was like, well, we just got home from the grocery store. And he was like, you guys need to get here ASAP. And I was like, well, what do you mean? And he was like, it's involving Dion.
They went to the community lake off Harmony Church Road in Covington County, where Walton was with some of his teammates celebrating the holiday.
We seen like all these police is there, and then we pulled into the driveway on the side of the house, and then I saw the rescue squad. They were boat divers searching out there in the water. I'm like, why are all these people out here? And so parked the car and I ran to the dock quick, and I was like, well, one of the parents came up. I said, what's going on?
His family says they were told Walton and some friends jumped off the pier into the lake to see who could swim to a small island in the middle of the lake the fastest, but Dion struggled as he was cramping in the water. After turning back towards the pier, calling for help, trying to grab onto a floaty, he was already starting to sink underwater.
The parent that owned the home, he said he rushed out there to the pond and he jumped in to try to look for him, and all the other players turned around and tried to search for him, and they just could not find him. And I was just, I don't know, it's a lot. It's not even real, don't even seem real to me.
Family says Dion was a mediocre swimmer and he was used to pools but not lakes where you can't see the bottom. Although this is a tragedy, family says there is one message that comes out of this.
Be careful. You don't want to put a message out there that says, hey, don't get in there on this holiday or you may suffer these consequences. That's not the message. The message is be careful and try to take precautions in everything that you do. Maybe, if I'd have known, maybe get the life raft.
His uncles say his teammates loved Dion. To know him was to love him. He was a 17-year-old student at Strawn High School who ran track, played football, and basketball.
He just had, so much of, a brightness, a future ahead of him. And it just sucks that it happened, what happened on Saturday, and he had so much more to give.
Family says he was full of energy and life. He loved to rap and sing.
Be acting, but that's a teenager. But he brings them in with that smile and that laugh. And that's what most people will remember and miss all.
The school will have a vigil in memory of him Friday night. In Covington County, Robert Smith, WDHN News for the Whiter Grass.
Okay, people, what do you all think about that? Now, here's the thing. You have to expect a lot of scrutiny from the black community, even if this was no foul play involved and it really happened. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell black people this anymore. You can't pull the autopsy stuff, the autopsy said this, and this, and he died from a drowning. Even if he really did, even if this was a legit drowning, and this boy went out here, he jumped in the water, he tried to swim, he cramped up and he couldn't make it. The thing is, black people have been through so much with these fake autopsy reports, with the white community tampering with evidence, lying, cover up, and that's facts. We can pull up over 100 cases right here on this channel, anybody's channel, of white people in the white community, coroner's reports, medical examiners lying, tampering. You know what I'm saying? People who have went back and did a second autopsy and things like that and said, hold up, something's wrong. Independent research, even from other white people who have come back and said, hey, listen, man, this ain't right. Y'all did something. So the thing about it is, white people, you created this distrust from your lying and covering up and being sneaky all the time. You know what I mean? So you have people that say, okay, well, this stuff it really does happen, but you got to understand why black people respond certain ways. You know what I mean? You can't just say that anymore because you've been caught. These people are supposed to be trusted people. You know what I mean? Authorities who are supposed to do things right. We know it ain't like that. You know what I mean? So now they create this distrust with the black community. And then you guys are always saying something. And there'll be plenty of these old shine bone buck dancing cowards coming out. Black people, you gotta shut up. Black people are responding because of our history. Check this out. I have seen some of these situations in the media, in the news, social media, or wherever, where something happened to a black person, right? And the black community on social media or anywhere else was going all out saying, oh, this and that. And I clearly knew that they wasn't making no sense. But I say, you know what? Let them air that out. Let them air that out because that stuff really does happen. And it ain't like they can learn something from this anyway. So go ahead and let them say what they want to say, man. I'm not jumping in that. It's not like it's a situation where, oh, well, let me go ahead and show y'all this because I understand this. Nah, let them air that out. So this distrust between the black community and these authorities, white people, y'all caused that, man. Y'all caused that, yo. You created that. Now here's something else about this. This situation right here with this black child right here, this happened the same day as Nolan Wells. Him and Nolan Wells so-called drowned on the same day. They found this child's body the same day right here. They found his body the same day. Nolan Wells 2 days later. I don't know if Nolan Wells drowned, by the way. Maybe something happened to him, then he drowned. We know that the white community out there did something to him. We know that, but both of them died on the 4th. Okay? Now, let me ask you all something. Do you think if this black child here in Alabama, this Don Walton child right here, do you think if he had gone out a day later, just say after the Nolan Wells news hit the waves, right? It all hit the waves. Everybody's talking about it. Do you think his people still would have let him go? Had they known, like his guardians, like, hold up, this just happened to this boy Nolan Wells, maybe we should hold off. What do you think about that? They didn't have a chance though, because they both happened on the same day. You know what I mean? That news was buzzing crazy with Nolan Wells 2 days after this black child right here drowned. But I'm asking, if they had already seen that Nolan Wells, do you think that they would have said, nah, we ain't gonna let you go out there? What do y'all think? I don't know, y'all. Okay, people, so check this out. We're going to another situation in Rowlett, Texas. 18-year-old black child by the name of Daniel Irving, okay? This happened in April, on April 13th. Daniel's mother's home is located at the 14,000 block of Woodland Trails in Rowlett, Texas. He was picked up by 2 white teenagers, one named Lucas, one named Riley, for a fishing trip. He never came home. These 2 boys returned home. Daniel did not. What happened to Daniel? Nobody knows. Daniel never made it home. His family's like, where is Daniel at? They're worried, concerned. They're out searching for him. They, put a little buzz on social media. Of course, not to the magnitude that it is with these other stories, because we just now hearing about this a couple days ago. But it's people in his community that are looking for him. They can't find him. You may be asking, well, what about the 2 white boys who came to pick him up? Nothing. They went on with their lives. They didn't say anything. And on April 17th, a body was recovered from Lake Hubbard, okay? Fire and rescue squads, they responded to an 8:30 a.m. call about a person in danger in high water. That was Daniel, okay? Of course, This person that was already, you know what I mean, Daniel had already passed away. It's not like he was struggling in. He's been in the water. Condolences to the family of Daniel, man. Why wasn't this family notified right away? Why wasn't law enforcement contacted as soon as it happened? Well, maybe because the white boys who came to get him hated him.
Racist white people will wait as long as it fucking takes. You hear me? They'll wait as long as it takes to snake you out. So when you're the only black indigenous one in the whole entire group and all your friends are the white tea motherfuckers, hey, that's not a safe thing. It's really not. And let me tell you something, having fair skin and being the only one that looks like myself in a group full of people that are indigenous and melanated, I've never felt threatened, not once. You hear me? You know how many times I felt threatened or felt like I had to worry about anything? Zero. Because the black indigenous people do not do that snake ass shit. Yes, there is some that do fucked up shit, whatever. That's in every race. But like I said, they're not gonna befriend you. If you want it them, you want it them. If you in, you in. Now these white people in the case of Nolan Wells, right here, these white people in the case of Nolan Wells, how is it the only one that goes missing is the melanated man? The melanated young brother. How is he the only one that goes missing? Nobody knows anything? Nah, you white tea motherfuckers know exactly what happened to him. Y'all know what the fuck y'all did. Y'all some fucking real bitch ass cowards. Like I said, don't surround yourself with all white tea people if you're the only one of darker skin, you hear me? Because a lot of times they really envy you. A lot of times they really just want to hurt you and they'll lie and wait however long it fucking takes for years. Like I said, these aren't just outright racist. These are undercover racist motherfuckers. Fuck them just as well. Fuck all you racist motherfuckers. And we're gonna get answers and figure out what happened to.
He's just trying to explain how his people roll. Unfortunately, some of our people have to hear it from one of them. See, this is the thing about a lot of black people, adults, young people. A lot of black people don't understand whiteness in America. And they don't know who they are. They don't know their history. They don't understand the emotions of white people, how white people react. You know, we have totally different emotions than white people. We wear ours on the sleeve. White people can do things that we can't even do, even if we wanted to. Even if when we wish we could. You know what I'm saying? That's why we have to protect ourselves even more. You know what I mean? You in a situation where you like, man, he could do that to me. She could do that to me. I can't do that. So I got to really, really double down and make sure I'm good. And that's with anybody. You know, anybody that you may know that's a snake or whatever. You know what I'm talking about, y'all. But when you're dealing with some of these Americans, they can do bad things that most of us aren't even capable of doing as a race. Even if we be talking junk about it, you know what I mean? As a group, we can't do a lot of that stuff, yo. We don't have it in us. Yeah, we can shoot somebody. We can shoot each other, you know, all that. But when we do them type of things, there's an explanation and a reason for it, even if it's wrong, bad, and dumb, and sinful and evil. Even if the person who does it needs to go to prison forever, because some black people need to get their face blown off and go to prison forever. Facts, this is true. But even when we do it, there's an explanation behind it, even if it's wrong. Example, they went to the 24-hour mark. They robbed it. They shot that nice man behind the counter, killed that man. Why they do it? They did it for money. They're poor, they're lazy, they want money. Are they wrong? Of course it's wrong. And they deserve to go to prison forever, yeah. Or get hit with some, you know, vigilante justice or whatever. But we like, okay, we could connect the dots and say, okay, that's why y'all did that. You know? In these cases with white people, like that white guy was saying, white people will actually befriend a naive black person who is nice, just to bait them in, just to bake a cake on them, get all their ingredients together and then roast them. Smiles in their face every day. Hey, buddy, this and that. Come out to our cabin. We're going to smoke some marshmallows and all this other stupid stuff. You know what I mean? And the whole scene, the whole scenario is to kill the black person. Push him off a boat, whatever. Shoot him in the head with a bow and arrow, whatever. Oh, I made a mistake. They can do that type of stuff. We can't do that, yo. And we don't even want to do that. We don't even have the time to do that. To be building a whole friendship with somebody, with a white person, just to do that. We don't do it. That's why that white dude said that, because he been around black people. They don't do that, yo. Yeah, they'll do that. That's just, but they don't do, we don't got time for that. You know what I mean? Building a whole relationship and friendship just to roast somebody. White people can actually do that. Now, does this mean that, oh, if I'm black and I go somewhere with all these white people, this is definitely going to happen to me? No, but what I'm saying is you need to be in control of the whole situation. But black parents with young black people, young black children, nah, you don't need to be letting them go. You don't need to be letting them go at all. They don't know how to think yet. This is the thing about these situations when this happens to these black people who are the only one not going home. They have no idea that it's going to happen to them. It's becoming more and more common. Well, it's not, we just hearing about it more and more. It always been happening, you know? And what a lot of black people don't want to discuss or bring up, they don't want to talk about this, is this stuff is happening to more black people that just love whiteness. At that point in time in their life, they're either confused, they don't have enough experience, or they just love white people. You met these people before. I'm not saying this to come at the young people like that. I'm just saying at that point in their life, 17, 18, 21, they don't know anything. They don't know anything about themselves or their culture. They don't understand white people's emotions and white people. You know what I mean? But there are older people, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, that just love white people. They love white people's draws, put them all on their face, on their head. But unfortunately, some of these young people, these are their parents. Now, I got to clear this up. I still don't condone or say it's right to be killing anybody, you know, killing black people just because they want to be white. No, I wouldn't care if a black person bleached their face white. Nobody has the right to take their life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not all for that. Not at all, you know. But there are people, young, middle-aged, older, who just love and adore whiteness. You know some of these people. These are usually the people who are getting got, y'all. It's usually them. It's usually them. People don't like to discuss that. Tamla Horsford covered her many times. Sad, horrible thing that happened to her. She did not deserve that. Tamla Horsford loved white people, man, and everything about them. She was easy prey. And many more. All right, people, I hope that these situations, these young black people didn't just pass away in vain. Just hope that black people can learn a lesson from them and do something to protect themselves and their people. That's it. Anyway, easy.